Parshat Ki Teitzei inverts the concept of the personal is political. Here, the Torah teaches us the opposite, that the political is personal. For the past couple of weeks, we have been, and will continue next week, into the realm of the political, as we are introduced to the structures of the Medina, of the state. Last week in Parshat Shoftim, we met the judges, learned about appointing a king, about the rights of the Levi and the mission of the prophet, established cities of refuge, and started discussing the laws of war. But this week, we step out of the Medina and we look into the home. The recurring word in the first series of mitzvot in our parsha is bayit, home. The very first mitzvah in our parsha, Eshet Yafat Toar, stands at the intersection of the political and the personal. We meet the captive woman in the political context. She is, after all, a captive of war. But then she enters the innermost sanctum of our home. The Torah invites us to struggle with a great challenge, one which is all too painfully and tragically familiar, of intersection between the politics of war and its impact on our homes and families. The Torah, as is most often true, does not hide from the grim truth. The picture isn't pretty, the challenge is real. Rashi famously suggests that the progression of mitzvot that opens our parsha paints a bleak picture of the disintegration of our family structure, as one thing leads to the other. War invites the captive woman into our home, which leads to marital strife between two wives, and subsequently results in sibling rivalry and inheritance claims, and ultimately this deterioration culminates in the case of the rebellious son. The political is personally tragic. But then there is a turnaround and new progression. We remain in the realm of the personal and the transition from a society of takers to givers. We start the parsha with a man who sees a woman and takes her, and the results are painful. But then we meet a few individuals who also see, but their response is to give. We meet the person who sees a lost animal and goes out of the way to return it, or sees a fallen animal and gives time and labor to help lift it. These are people, the Torah tells us, who are not capable of passing by and ignoring the needs of others. In this section, Rashi invokes the principle of mitzvah goreret mitzvah. One good deed leads to another. At the end of this progression comes the mitzvah of building a protective fence around one's roof. Now we have someone who not only sees, but even foresees and takes proactive steps to provide security. The political is personal. As Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us how to build our Medina, he steps out of the explicitly political and into the personal. Are we building our homes and families on foundations of seeing our needs and fulfilling our desires, or seeing others' needs and building structures of safety and care? From this intersection, we will, please God, progress next week into Parshat Ki Tavo. The personal decisions that the Torah encouraged us to make this week will determine the Medina that we will prepare to enter next week.